Let's talk about crypto and energy consumption, or why it makes sense to love Bitcoin if you love the environment. Now, you asked for my opinion, but I also want to give you the facts that help me form it. Because while many people will claim that Bitcoin requires tremendous amounts of energy, and it does, we need context to evaluate this claim critically and draw any conclusions, okay? This table came from one of my favorite new books, Read, Write, Own, by Chris Dixon. And you can see that as of last year, Bitcoin uses about 136 terawatts of electricity annually. That's 52,000 times more energy consumption than Ethereum after its transition to proof of stake. However, Bitcoin's consumption is often unfairly singled out for a few reasons. First, for comparison, our banking system uses almost twice the energy of Bitcoin. Gold mining consumes about as much. And when you take into account the costs of refinement, transportation, security, verification, theft, and loss, these costs and the costs of the rest of the infrastructure that makes our money work are huge. Okay? Second, while Bitcoin's energy consumption is high, it's critical to understand that Bitcoin is increasingly reliant on renewable and regenerative energy. Studies from companies like CoinShares and research firms like Bitcoin Mining Council report that up to as much as 70% of Bitcoin mining is powered by renewable sources like hydroelectric, solar, geothermal, and wind. And this varies because the random nature of Bitcoin mining means that sometimes a block is mined by someone using coal, sometimes it's mined by someone using solar, geothermal, etc. Not to mention, unlike the energy-sucking infrastructure of our money system, Bitcoin mining over time is increasingly green. And it's increasingly used to monetize excess renewable energy while providing electricity to underserved regions, literally bringing people in the global south onto the power grid. For example, Bitcoin mining in Ethiopia is powered almost entirely by hydroelectricity and helps fund infrastructure expansion. These operations, they don't only just secure the Bitcoin network, they also have the potential to bring power to places where electricity is scarce or just doesn't exist altogether. And as mining technology improves, as energy grids become greener, Bitcoin's carbon footprint, we expect it to decrease. And this is a trend not just in Bitcoin, but where we can expect continued leadership in all of crypto, which attracts many environmentalists. Since I mentioned Ethereum, I think it's worth noting that since 2017, they've reduced their energy usage by 99.99%. Thousands of times. They consume less energy than Google, less than Facebook, less than mobile gaming.